where are you from?
Louisiana.
Oh,
You know Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne. I have heard the name.
You know, back that ass up.
It's so difficult to pronounce.
No, say it. Back that ass up. Back that ass up. Back that ass up.
Is this
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, really?
Have you ever lost faith in people, then met someone who reminded you that they're still good out there?
On the last episode, my van broke down leaving California. At first, I thought it was something small, but it turned out to be the worst case scenario.
I blew my engine. Total with labor, $7,400.
I paid the mechanic in full and he disappeared with my money. I was heartbroken, but Reggie, someone that I had met less than a week ago, stepped in. He let me store my van at his shop and him and his family made sure I was straight while I figured out my next move. And the crazy part, all of this happened right after some of the best moments on my journey so far. Performing in Austin, linking with Kareem Grimes in LA, visiting my brother in Oakland, and hitting the stage at Jazz Fest back home in New Orleans.
And right in the middle of all that chaos,
An email popped up.
it was an invitation to Tokyo to write for some of the biggest artists in the Asian market.
So now I've got a broken van.
But I have a stronger spirit and a ticket across the world. This feels like one of the biggest turning points in my journey so far. But let's take it back a bit. My name is 3D Nazi, and yes, I live in a van. And if you're new here, I'm not some homeless bitch with no purpose.
I've done everything from working with some of the most iconic artists in the game to using the money that I made from music to build a real estate portfolio. But in 2024, I traded in a life that I knew for a life of exploration. Life's a trip. So let's pick it up where we left off. After tagging along with Reggie to Killer Mike's shop, I met a mechanic who said that he can fix my van.
And for the first time in a long time,
Things felt like they might finally start turning around.
I did not get my hopes up. I've been let down too many times. My mind was somewhere else anyway. I'm headed to Japan. I was excited. Working with artists from all over the world in Tokyo is a huge opportunity, but I was nervous too. I don't speak the language. The flight is 13 hours.
And y'all know how planes have been falling out of the sky?
And even though I'm an introvert, so I like being alone, I was wondering how it would feel to be alone in Japan. But with only 5 days to pack, I do not have time to waste.
Andrew, the new mechanic, promised that he would swap out my engine for the same price.
And have it done before I left, but 2 days in and he still hadn't started on mine because he had 2 cars before me.
My anxiety was kicking back in,
I found myself online every day.
looking at new vans.
But could I really walk away from mine?
I built it by hand and I put love into it.
In a few weeks, it will be 1 year.
Since I sold everything and started living in a van.
But was it all a waste?
Maybe I should just buy a house somewhere in the woods and disappear.
I was spiraling.
Until Andrew called and said that the van was ready.
No check engine light, no acceleration problems.
I would be back on the road.
My little baby is back. It's back.
And that gave me the peace I needed headed to Japan. Well,
Sorta. Because I ended up missing my connected flight to Tokyo. So instead of arriving a day early and settling in, I spent the night alone wandering the airport by myself.
I fell asleep as soon as I got on the plane.
I slept through the first meal, so I woke up starving, and the 2 people sitting next to me wasn't making it any better because they was fucking their food up. My stomach started growling, but I tried to play it off and find a movie to watch. I watched The Fire Inside for the 3rd time, which is a movie about the life of the greatest female boxer in the world, Clarissa Shields.
Shout out to Clarissa.
We got a song together.
Y'all
and
gonna hear that real soon.
by the time the second meal came around, it was some bullshit ass burrito.
I still ate it.
But I was on the toilet immediately. I thought I was gonna end up like Kevin Hart on Soul Plane. When I landed in Tokyo, I realized right away I was the only black woman around. The airport was crowded and the language barrier was tough, but I downloaded a translation app that I thought worked really well until
My Uber dropped me off at the wrong spot, so now I gotta walk, so can't read anything. Oh boy. I do feel safe though. I can't tell you that. I feel safe.
Luckily, my friend Nexus flew in Tokyo the same week. We went to art school together and she's like a little sister to me.
and she wanted to go to Japan because she had to get some
Dental work done and she said it was cheaper out there. Ever since we were kids, she's been deadly afraid of needles. So when she asked me to go with her to her appointment out there, I told her I would.
She made it a day before me, so she started telling me all the things that she noticed.
They don't take tips out here.
You tried to tip him?
Yeah, she was like, no, she can't accept it.
My first meal was at a steakhouse and the food was so fresh I can't explain it.
This is delicious.
And Nexus was right. They would not accept my tip, which I was kind of happy about. I booked a hotel room in Shinagawa, which was not far from the studio in a city called Shibuya. The room was extremely small, but it had a bidet, and let me explain, the bidet was the highlight of my trip.
Even when I didn't have to shit,
I would just go sit on the toilet and use the bidet.
I gotta get me one of those little booty sprinklers in the van.
On the first day, I met all the other artists, songwriters, and producers. They were literally from all over the world, like Tupi from Thailand, or Aklo, or Manish,
The producer behind several Drake songs.
Travis Scott, J. Cole, Snow Allegra, and Heartbreak Anniversary for Giveon. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel alone. I'm already an introverted person.
Which is kind of weird, because even though I feel like I can go anywhere and do anything, I don't really feel like I fit in anywhere.
So I spent a lot of time alone and in my head.
I guess it's something I gotta work through in therapy. I don't know.
But at the studio, I was the only person from the United States, so my social anxiety was hitting hard. But as soon as they started playing the beat, I felt like I belonged. Music is the one thing that brought us all together, and that's why I love making music so much. It's a universal language, and when I got in my zone, I knew I was there because I deserved to be.
All of the begging and pleading, you way too deceiving and way too conniving. You gave me a reason to make a release. You for the streets, so disturbing my peace.
Every day I would hit the studio at 10 a.m. and the label would put me in a room with a new group of artists. Everybody was so talented. I can't show every session because some of them couldn't be recorded, but one of my favorites was with a group called 108, one of the biggest boy bands in Asia. They have a song called Kawasaki with Big Sean, and it's so fire. And I really had a good time working with them. After my sessions, I would walk back to my hotel room, and I used those walks to really explore the city.
Let me get out of here before I lose my American money in this bitch.
Japan felt very safe, even at night. So I would just wander around, buying shit, trying shit.
I feel safe. I got an hour walk. They say these are really popular. The rule is you shouldn't walk and eat out here. They have designated eating areas. Fuck. Bitch, I gotta walk for an hour with an egg sandwich.
On the last day of the studio sessions, there was a rap party.
So I decided to get a driver instead of walking back to my room.
So I could take a nap before the party.
When the driver came, he was this young Japanese guy who spoke a little bit of English.
But he had a sense of humor like mine.
He was very sarcastic and very witty, so we was laughing and talking shit the whole ride.
When we got to my hotel, I asked him if he had ever tried the steakhouse that I went to on my first night, and he said no. I asked him if he could take a break and come with me, and he said that he couldn't. I was really enjoying my ride, and I really enjoyed his company. So I told him that I would pay for his next hour of work and buy him dinner if he took a break and came with me.
That boy clocked off fast as a motherfucker. He understood English then.
We had a fucking ball.
He asked me not to show his face, so I won't.
But what I will say is
that he made my whole trip.
He taught me more about his culture
and what the people in Japan thought of mine. He really made me feel like I belong.
Arigato watashi no yujin. Thank you, my friend.
Afterwards, I went back
to my hotel, but because I hadn't got accustomed to the time difference, that little nap I was supposed to take turned out to be a full night's sleep. I missed the party.
I was so mad
because by this time I was making friends, but I was still on Central Time, which is 14 hours behind Tokyo. So when I woke back up,
it was 2 a.m. in Japan. The party was over.
Because my studio sessions were over,
I was wide awake with nothing to do.
I didn't have my studio equipment with me.
But last month when I was in California, I brought this interface that I use for interviews in my show Gas or Trash. It's called the Zoom Recorder H4, and it comes with 4 inputs.
With 2 integrated TRS lines, a built-in stereo mic, and more.
Hold on, when I was editing this, I realized that I sounded like a straight geek, but I just like camera equipment and studio equipment and building things and taking them apart. I am not sponsored by this company, but I do have a list of all the cameras that I use, the items that I use to build a van, and all my studio equipment on 3dnot.com under the Tips and Tools tab, and Amazon. So if that's something that you're into, go to 3dnot.com under the Tips and Tools tab. I'm gonna keep adding to it. I even thought of possibly doing reviews of products because I'm always buying shit. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know in the comments.
Anyway, I wondered if I can use the Zoom to do some demos on Pro Tools.
And what do you know? It worked.
So here I was
at 2 a.m. in Tokyo, freestyling on a handheld recorder.
I'm so excited. Damn, I look like Dennis Rodman. Ain't this a bitch?
I was so excited that it actually worked
that by the time I finished the song, I was blowing Nexus up early in the morning to see if she wanted to shoot a video for the song I just freestyled.
So we hit the empty streets of Tokyo
and filmed this.
It's Tuesday where I'm at, but I'm about to drop this for y'all because I know it's Monday where you are. From the van to Japan, bitch. Let's go. That's what you wanted. Get in them pockets. This is what you get. He hit my line, I hit the clock, can't fuck with Cupid. He too ruthless, he a nuisance. Had me out here looking stupid. I was clueless, thought I'd find a one. But that nigga was a dog like he bounty hunt. No amount of blunts can make me pick up next time love call or send a text. Fuck love, rather plenty sex. And many checks can get my cell, but you can get my Zelle. Then more as well, guess I'm guarded and my heart too frail. Too hard to tell, I don't know though. I'm a solo, bounce like pogos when they get attached. Wish my heart was still intact without a million cracks. Guess that's where the origin story of this villain at. Feeling numb and lost and found like where my feelings at. Damn, I misplaced them. Fuck them, then replace them. Keep my feelings hid, secretive like a mason. Send them on this way like baby, you can't get adjacent. You can't get attached. Love call, I hit you back. Shit. Yay! The next day was her dentist appointment. I thought it would be quick, but when we got there, they told us that the procedure would take 3 days, not 1.
I didn't have 3 days. My flight was booked for the next morning. Plus, there was something that I hadn't told anybody, not even my mama. On a flight over, I had a dream about this deadly storm hitting Japan. In the dream, I was staring out of my hotel window at this dark sky, flooded streets, and winds ripping through the neighborhood. The storm was headed straight to me and I had no escape. That same dream kept waking me up night after night. I could not shake it. It's probably one of the reasons why I never got adjusted to the time difference. So even though I was having a good time, my gut kept telling me, leave Japan now. Bitch, you can't swim.
I didn't mention the dream because I didn't want to scare her, but I did agree that I would be there for her.
But she didn't tell me I would have to change my flight, extend my hotel stay, and spend extra money.
All because she was scared of needles.
Have you ever had to choose between following your gut
and showing up for a friend? Because that's where I was.
But I ended up staying and spending about $500 extra. In total, I spent a little over $2,000 for my trip to Japan. Speaking of money, Nexta spent $515 USD
for her root canal and her filling. The day after her last procedure, I was on a flight back home to the United States with a greater appreciation for the things that I do have. Although after selling my house and moving into a van, I'm living more of a minimalistic lifestyle these days, I'm not lacking anything.
Before Japan, I felt like I really didn't fit in anywhere. I'm not married, I don't have kids, and I realized that my mind doesn't work like a lot of the people around me. And sometimes that makes me feel a little bit more insecure and socially awkward than I should be. So I find myself in my head a lot, keeping myself company. But my trip to Japan made me feel like maybe not fitting in is not a disability. It's a superpower. As long as you have good intentions and a pure heart, you're never alone. Your tribe will find you. Oh, one more thing. When I got back to America, I started seeing some disturbing headlines in the news.
Tokyo was flooding. And some of the images I saw in the media were very similar to the things that I was seeing in my reoccurring dream.
Good thing I followed my gut. Y'all be good.